hope you're well. It's 8 o'clock and we are live. I'm live certainly from London, and I'm going to be joined by Isabel Wells, who is the communications director for the upcoming film Introducing Homeopathy. Three-part special, and you'll know that yesterday Carol Boyce was on the Insta Live, and if you missed it, please do go back to my Instagram, or you can listen via YouTube as well. All the links are in my bio. Hi Isabel, thank you so very much for joining me today.
Hi, Atik. It's wonderful to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me. This is so exciting.
Exciting, isn't it? I was just saying to the listeners that yesterday Carol Boyce was on, as you very well know, of course, and we have you today. And then tomorrow is going to be Kim Alia himself, the man himself, the producer for the upcoming film documentary.
Yeah, it's very exciting to have all of those voices on here.
It is. It's so many homeopathic voices, hey? And film voices as well, I must say. I was going to ask you, for those who aren't aware, I have introduced you as the communications director for the upcoming film, Introducing Homeopathy. But those that are going to tune in live, and certainly those who will stream back, please, if you can just give a brief introduction about yourself.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm Isabel Wells. The film team loves to call me Izzy. I'm the communications director for the film is my official title, but I do a lot behind the scenes. So I run our social media. I'm the designer for our website. If you contact us through our contact form, or if you engage with us while purchasing premiere tickets or that exclusive live event tickets, I'm the one who you'll hear from. So chances are, if you've sent an email to the film team, you've probably gotten an email back from me. I'm kind of a jack of all trades behind the film, and it's such an honor to be able to support such an amazing project and work with so many amazing people and really brilliant minds that I know you've showcased here on your lives and on your podcast, and all of the amazing work that you're doing. So I also want to take a moment to just thank you and send appreciation your way for how amazing you are in supporting this.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. As you know, I absolutely love everything about the film, and also, more importantly, it's very much the objectives of what the film stands for, and the outcome. And I'm quite confident, of course, like yourselves, that it's going to bring the message of homeopathy to millions of people in such a beautiful way. In film is something we all love. Movies, I mean, I certainly love them, and I learn a great many things from learning from watching movies, because sometimes scripts are written in such a way that they really gel with you, and you remember certain things, and they teach you certain things that you're not aware of, and some movies even make you reflect and ponder, don't they, over so many things that one has experienced oneself, for example. So this is where the film, I feel, is so important, because it's bringing home the message of homeopathy, but also the fact that here's some real life stories. It's not just us talking, as in the guests on the film themselves, film itself, but here are the real life testimonials, the stories, and it's not, it's so much more than that. I know I'm not giving much away here. I mean, careful with my words in case you tell me off, but it's so much more, isn't it? There's so much substance to it.
I think it is, and that's part of why this project is going to be so incredibly impactful, is because what we've really tried to do, and of course I only play a very small role in the actual production of the film itself, but having that kind of really honored place to be able to interact with the filmmakers and see what's going on behind the scenes, something we're really trying to capture in the film is that essence of homeopathy being a really personal medicine. It's not where you go into a doctor's office and you think, if I covered my name up on my folder, would they know who I was? It's very much personal. It looks at you and your symptom picture and what you're experiencing on all levels. And that's something that I think is really unique in healthcare. And it's something that we don't see a lot of right now. And I think when you bring something like this to the stage and you give it a voice where millions of people can see it and realize that that's what we're all searching for. We're not just looking for health and healing, but we're also looking to be witnessed and to be seen in all the levels of us and all of our experiences. And that's something that homeopathy really does so beautifully, while also leading us to cure and to well-being and to that, that peace that we're all looking for in our lives. And so the film is doing a really amazing job of highlighting that by bringing in personal stories of people who have struggled or who are going through things that so many of us can relate to, and getting to watch their progression from, sickness to health on all levels, mind, body, and spirit, and really seeing how impactful homeopathy can be. I was speaking with Kim the other day, and he was saying how, he can't imagine someone viewing this film and not becoming a supporter of homeopathy. And I completely agree, because it's so incredibly powerful, and it speaks to the experiences that every single human being has, no matter your walk of life. And I think that's really the power of doing a documentary like this, is finding those personal details and connections.
That was very poetic, very beautifully said.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, that was so wonderful. I was going to ask you about that message that's in that film of healing, because it's not just, like you've so wonderfully and eloquently put, it's not just about remedies or homeopathic medicines. It's about being seen, isn't it? It's about being heard, and that's so important, because half the cure sometimes is sorry, should I say half the well, for want of a better word, half the cure is a common phrase, right? So half the cure sometimes is in just listening to people and letting them offload, the mental and emotional aspects of their life that they're not happy with, or the experiences they've had which are not very pleasant. And of course, we all go through trials and tribulations, don't we? But it's so nice to be able to talk to somebody who can then empathize and say, well, look, there's something there for you, we can help you. But just that offloading is so important, isn't
It
it?
is. And I think that's, like you said, that's half of the process, is having a place where you can fully be seen and bring all of your struggles and the things that you're experiencing, and have them in a non-judgmental space. I
Mm,
think even a lot of times what we see in healthcare is it's very much a bring us your issues so we can tell you what the answer is. And I think what makes homeopathy really unique is we're always moving towards that cure. We're always moving towards an improvement in our state of well-being, but it's also looking at what's your process for getting there. Instead of viewing you as your disease or as your symptoms or as the problem you're experiencing, we're viewing you as a person. And instead of saying, what's the problem, we're looking at what's holding you
mm,
back, what's not allowing you to be that fullest expression of yourself. And I think that's, again, something that the film highlights so beautifully, is stories of, they're not just cases that we've taken, they're stories of people, the real people, and the process that they went through, and the emotions that they were having, and, the shifts in their symptom picture that they experience, and just watching the fact that it is a process. And it's something that when we have that space, when we're given that container, whether it's, a documentary that we can kind of see ourselves reflected back in, or it's an actual session with a homeopath, when we're given that container in which we can let ourselves process and let ourselves offload, like you said, and have that space to speak, it's incredibly powerful. And I
mm.
feel like, one of the slogans that we use for the film is giving homeopathy its rightful voice. And I always like to say that, the film might be giving homeopathy its voice, but homeopathy gives people their voices too.
Uh, I was thinking as you were saying that I like yourself and all homeopaths around the world, we receive so many calls from around the world, from patients, or well, yes, literally from patients, or those perhaps inquiring. But I was just thinking how wonderful it is. It's like homeopathy is like a friendship, because sometimes we can be best friends and you don't see each other for many years, right? It's just the way life is. And then you meet one another and it's like you just start right back where you left, right? And homeopathy is very much like that, because the practitioner-patient relationship can sometimes become very fruitful, and you can have this rapport and you can become friends. And you may not see a patient for many years, but when they come back, it's like you know them. And that in itself, I think, is such an important bonus to homeopathy, because it's part of the process. Nobody goes out to do this, but by talking to somebody and them sharing and you sharing back, and providing guidance and then remedies, and it's such a fulfilling um, service to humanity. I feel, I don't call it a profession or a career, because It's a service. I mean, day in, day out, that's what homeopaths do. And my point was that, this is highlighted in the film itself by the examples and the testimonials within the film of those who have been selected, to share that story.
And I think, even beyond that, because like you said, that kind of client practitioner relationship is incredibly powerful, and it's long lasting. When you find a homeopath who works well with you, you'll work with them for years, maybe even for your entire lifetime. But I think even beyond that, something that the film really highlights is that it's also the process of coming into a relationship with yourself and remembering who you are beyond illness or beyond mental struggles or beyond whatever it is, whatever burden it is that you're carrying, because we all have our burdens to carry, right? And I think what homeopathy does is not only does it give us that person to whom we can open up, and it gives us this modality that gives us an answer and a solution and a path forward, but it also gives us this space where we can start to come back into connection with ourselves. And in a society and a culture that is so vastly disconnected from a relationship with yourself and from going inward and really honoring your experience and where you want to go, I think that's something that's incredibly powerful about homeopathy, is that ability to let us see ourselves fully. Instead of seeing ourselves tied to whatever it is we're experiencing in the moment, we get to see ourselves as we truly are and know that there's the potential there to keep moving towards that and to keep coming into connection with that and alignment with that version of ourselves.
It reminds me of the words, know thyself, who am I? What is my purpose? And it's so important because, like you've said, we get caught up, don't we, in life? And life is hectic. From one level to another, you have work commitments, people have family commitments, there's trials and tribulations of course we all go through. But everything seems to be so accelerated at a fast pace. And it's so important that you get that me time, so you know who you are and what your skills are and what your strengths are, and you can work we all know our weaknesses. And it's interesting because homeopathy has a part to play in there as well, because it's working holistically. So it's mind, body, spirit. It's everything, and it's helping you to rediscover that inner self of who am I. And through the treatment itself, it helps you to understand how your body works, right? How we all have, we may all look the same, let's say, but certainly we're very different as individuals. And, I always say to my patients, or even if I'm teaching any students, I always say that one size does not fit all. Maybe you'll get lucky, and sometimes it can, but if you individualize something or make it very tailored or personalized even, the results are always so much more better, aren't they?
Absolutely.
So much more improved.
And I think that's another beautiful part of working with a homeopath, is it does give you these checkpoints to be able to check in with yourself. When you meet with your homeopath, whether it's every week or every couple of years, it gives you this chance to kind of check in and see, well, where am I? How have I come into deeper
Mm.
connection with myself? What aspects of my personality and my physiology and my psychology and all of these layers of me, how have I come into a deeper understanding of them? And how is this remedy helping me to work more with them in a more efficient and effective and compassionate way? Is the other part of it, is that having that compassion and that willingness to be human and see that process again, like we talked about earlier. It's so important.
Mm. Absolutely. Now, I know that I'm probably a nightmare, okay, because of the social media posts that I'm sending you constantly. Uh, but in the best, with the best intention, my apologies. I know it's
No,
a lot.
we love it. It's amazing
I,
what you do,
I,
and
I,
we're incredibly
I
grateful
wonder
for it.
sometimes, I think of you when I'm sending something, and I'm thinking she's gonna think, oh no, it's 3 a.m. Atik. What are you doing? Sorry.
I'm
But
amazed at how you get it all done. Every time you send me something, I'm like, wow, you're incredibly inspiring. I know you always give light to other people on your platform and sharing their voices, but I think it's also important to highlight how incredible you are and how amazing your voice is. So thank you.
thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I was actually on the Homeopathic World community with Ashley Mendoza a few days back, and she asked me this question. She said, "How do you manage to do everything?" And I actually didn't have an answer. I was really struggling to answer it. because you get used to a certain system, and whether it's broken or not, it just works. You know it works, right? So, but to put it into words was really, really, she got me there, you know, because I thought, how do I do it? You know, it got me thinking. I've been still been thinking about it, but and having sent you another 20 reels in the meantime, right? But I was going to ask you about the work that's involved now and where you are as far as communications, because I know with the film there are those, by the way, who wish to join the influencer network can do so. Just email Isabel, if you can kindly just share the email for
Yeah,
everybody.
absolutely. So if you send me an email at Isabel, that's Isabel at introducinghomeopathy.com. You can also email us at thefilm at introducinghomeopathy.com. Both of those emails come to me. You'll probably get a faster response if you email Isabel at introducinghomeopathy.com.
Hmm.
And I think what's really beautiful about that is we have a really wide network of volunteers and influencers and collaborators that we work with to really make this film possible and make outreach possible, because it really does take a village. That's one of our favorite sayings on the film team, is it takes so many people to be able to give this film the platform that it deserves
Hmm.
and to do it justice in what we're hoping to achieve in this mission that we've kind of set out to accomplish. And so we do have a really wide network of influencers and collaborators. And so if you have a large community that you're connected to, or you have a specific skill set, or you're just really passionate about homeopathy and you want to know how you can support the film, send us an email, or you can even go to introducinghomeopathy.com. We have a contact us page. You can send us a message on there. Let us know who you are, what you're excited about, what skills you have, how you want to support, and we'll find a place to fit you in, because we are always opening up that net to whoever wants to join us, because this isn't, it's not just our film, right? It's the
Hmm.
community's film, and it's the community's project, and it's going to bring a lot of prosperity and awareness to homeopathy this year. And you came up with that wonderful slogan of "Let's make 2024 the year of homeopathy," but I think that's really what we're doing here, and it's amazing to see how many people have come together to really support that mission.
Absolutely. And I would echo your words and say, for those listening and listening back, of course, please do email, get involved, because the more people, the larger the community, the grander the voice of homeopathy. And also do follow Introducing Homeopathy on their Instagram. It's really, really important. These things may not seem or appear to be important, but they really are, because they make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. The more followers, the more algorithms, and the way that the algorithms work nowadays on social media apps, the more exposure for the film. We really want everybody, or as many people certainly as possible, to come on board. So uh, email Isabel and get involved as an influencer as well, because I know that the more voices that are online, and the more voices that are part of this network shouting about the film, talking about the film, promoting about the film, the better overall for the message of homeopathy. And that's why I always say, let's work together in some of my reels. This is literally what it is. Let's work together for the greater good. And it's so, so important. Now is the time. And please, get in touch. Don't delay, act today.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And again, like you said, even if you're not an influencer and you're just passionate about homeopathy, or even if you're just curious about homeopathy, if you're new to it and you want to learn more, our Instagram is a fantastic place to do that, as is Atik's and his podcast. Places like this where we're really promoting homeopathy. But like Atik said, when you follow or you comment or you like a post, it really does make a really big difference in helping us spread the word and support homeopathy. And so know that when you're supporting the film, you're not just supporting a documentary, you're not just supporting a project, but you really are supporting a community and homeopathy as a whole, because this film is kind of our spokesperson right now. It's going to be at the forefront of, when people think of homeopathy, they're going to think of the film. And so the more we can get it out, the more we can support it, the more we can show that homeopathy really is all over the globe, and it's impacted so many people and benefited so many lives. The more we can show that, the more it's going to spread, and the more it's going to be able to reach into those homes that maybe haven't heard about homeopathy or that didn't know it was an option. And that's really what we're here for, is not just to spread the word amongst the homeopathy community, but to start reaching out and making homeopathy a household word everywhere across the world.
This film is going to bring the world a very special moment in time because of what it stands for, which is what you said earlier, and which is, of course, on the website as well, to give homeopathy its rightful voice. And that is so, so, so important. So many people are suffering unnecessarily. So many people can find so much relief with homeopathy. So if you really want to know how life-changing it can be, this is that moment that's going to come very, very soon, in a few months' time, where you can actually see and witness firsthand how homeopathy works, what homeopathy is about, its history, and most certainly the incredible capabilities that it has for healing. And that is just amazing. I love that. It's so, so important to me as a fourth generation homeopath. I'm so no, excited is not the right word. I think inspired is probably the better word. I'm so inspired by this because I believe, and this, Isabel, of course, but this is the right time. This is the year, and if we collectively all come together, hence, please visit the website to know more, and that's also where you can purchase tickets as well. But it's so, so important to come together and raise this flag of homeopathy. Together we can. Individually, of course, we achieve things and success, but together, collectively, we can achieve great things.
Absolutely. And I think, again, that's really where we go back to let's spread the word. Let's join us. It's 2 months from today
Oh,
that we have the
wow. Oh,
exclusive
yes.
private screening. Yeah, so if you go to introducinghomeopathy.com, up in the top menu there's a page that says exclusive screening, and this is where we're going to be showing the film at the Joint American Homeopathic Conference this year in April, and it's going to be the first time that we're really unveiling this project and showing the fruits of the labor that the entire community has brought forward, and the support that we've been given, and the passion that every single person has brought to this project, no matter what role they play. And so that's happening on April 19th. But know that, if you can't make it to Reston, Virginia, where the conference is, we do have the opportunity to view it virtually. So wherever you are in the world, no matter your time zone, if you purchase a virtual ticket, which you can do on our website, you'll get a link that gives you access to view the film for 2 days. So you can view it on your own time from the comfort of your own home. We're really encouraging people to also do watch parties, get your neighborhood together, get your community together, create a space where it becomes a thing. Have your own event to celebrate homeopathy while we're celebrating it by bringing this film to the big screen and showing it to so many people around the globe. And that's happening on April 19th, and you can learn more and purchase tickets on our website.
I was asking Carol yesterday that there's not many weeks left. How do you feel? So I'm going to ask you the same question. I know I'm going to ask Kim the same question tomorrow, because Kim is live tomorrow as well, at same time, 8 p.m. Universal Time Zone. And how are you? How are you managing? Because it's a lot of work, isn't it?
It's quite a lot of work, and I think we're all feeling, on the film team, we're feeling that excitement and that anticipation of having a deadline. We have 2 months to get this
Wow.
going and give it that sparkle and really, again, honor what this project was meant to be and this mission that we're upholding. And so I think we're all feeling a little bit of that crunch time and noticing how much there's still to do in 2 months. But it's also, we have an incredible team, and we've been incredibly blessed, I would say, in the skill sets that we have. And so there's, in the midst of that feeling of, oh, there's 2 months left, there's also this incredible faith and trust in the team that we have, and knowing that it's all going to come together and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So I think we all also have a bit of this sense of knowing that we're watching history be made a little bit, and knowing that we're watching that process of, this is going to change the world. This is going to change the lives of millions of people around the globe. And so I think there's a sense of awe that goes into it, of knowing that, we're kind of in those final stages. We have 2 months, and it's like 2 months left of this being ours before it becomes everybody's, so there's a bit of that, there's that stress and that excitement and that anticipation, but there's also, I think there's a lot of gratitude right now happening for the project itself.
If you have any questions and you'd like them answered live, please use the comment box below, and do send your questions to Isabel. I'll read them out, and she'll be more than happy to answer them. But yes, I mean it's near. I was saying to Carol yesterday, I said I'm sure there's going to be a part 2 and 3, but I think let's get. but I thought afterwards, I think that was too much pressure. So maybe let's wait.
Yeah, I think it has infinite potential, and it's going to be amazing to get to see how it unfolds. Because I think we all have this awareness of what could happen and how it could go and the difference that it can make and will make. But it's those steps after seeing, and then what? We know what's happening now. We know what the film is. We know what the mission is. But it's like, and then what? There's this excitement there of knowing the weight of what we're bringing forward and getting really excited to see. I always think of of an image of like holding a bird and letting it go and seeing where does it go, what does it do, how high does it get to soar, and I think that's really exciting.
The potential is, honestly, I think this is just the start of, I think, what's going to happen. And I believe it was one of I think in the podcast I did with Kim and Julian a few weeks back, I think I asked them about red carpet events, and I can see those happening. Perhaps not as red carpet events, but certainly events where, the film is, where the film is going to be premiered or launched. Actually, there's a question here from J.I. Mills, 1984. Apologies if this has already been covered, but no, it's a wonderful question. It's what platform will this be aired on, and when will it be released? Thank you for the question.
That's a brilliant question. So right now we're in communication with a lot of the major streaming platforms. So I don't have a solid answer for you yet on where it will be streamed, but know that, like I said, we have an exclusive screening happening on April 19th. And so you can purchase virtual tickets for that, and that will allow you to watch the film between April 19th and April 21st. You have a 2-day window to watch the film. So know that right now that's going to be your best option if you're really excited to watch the film like we are. Definitely purchase a virtual ticket, and then we'll be sure to keep you all updated on where it's going to be released. We're hoping to have it on all of the major streaming platforms, but if you want to stay up to date and have live updates on how all of that's happening, be sure to go to introducinghomeopathy.com and subscribe to our newsletter, because that's where we're going to be sending all of the behind the scenes updates, and you'll get to be the first to know where the film's going to be released.
If you do book a virtual ticket as a result of this Insta Live, or the one I've done yesterday with Carol, or the one perhaps coming up, it would be wonderful if you selected my name from the drop-down list as you check out with a ticket. It'll give you an option to choose your red carpet ambassador. So if it's as a result of this that you're booking, or a result of one of the podcasts, then please do select my name. I'll be very grateful to you and very appreciative, of course.
Yes, yeah, I think he's doing an amazing job, and so we want to make sure that he gets the credit for all of this amazing work that he's doing. So if you're coming to the film, if you've heard of the film, or you decide to purchase a ticket as a result of one of his amazing lives or podcasts, make sure you select his name as the red carpet ambassador that referred you, because it really is so important, so that we can highlight and acknowledge the amazing work that's going into all of this from all angles.
Isabel, I was going to ask you about your sort of personal experience being involved with the film, and if there were, or I know there have been rather many highlights, but what sort of is a few that you can perhaps share, that you've experienced, which had a wow factor? I mean, I say that, and in my head I'm thinking, I think it's all wow, but
It's all wow.
something that something that's
Yeah.
very personal to you, perhaps, or something that you thought, wow, this is really something different.
There was a moment I remember. So we've been working behind the scenes on this film for years, and there was a moment last year at last year's Joint American Homeopathic Conference where we showed a clip from the film. It was a really raw edit. It was one of the first preview clips that we'd done, and it was just when people were just starting to find out about this film that we were doing in this project. And it was amazing. That entire experience was amazing, because it's these people that you see on Zoom, you see through a screen every day for a year, and we all met each other in person, many of us for the first time at the JHC. So there was this incredible sense of camaraderie and this excitement of getting, like, I can actually hold your hand, I can give you a hug, it's amazing. And so we had the film team, the production team, all sitting together in the front row when we showed this clip. And I remember sitting there after the clip had finished, and there was just silence. Like, there was just this feeling of awe. And I think the film team had this moment where we looked at each other and we were all just kind of nodding because we could tell this is huge. That we accomplished something huge, and you can tell and you can feel it. And so I think that's an incredibly special moment that I'm really looking forward to getting to replicate in some way, and maybe even expand on at this year's Joint American Homeopathic Conference and at that exclusive private screening, is that feeling of this is huge, and it gets to go from just being something on our computer screen to being something that we as a community get to experience together. And it's that sense of camaraderie, I think, that for me personally has been a really big highlight of being part of this film.
I think just a couple of weeks back we had the meeting, the collaborator meeting, I believe it was called, or have I got that name right? So,
Yes.
yeah. So and I remember that Kim showed us the 4 minutes, and I mentioned this yesterday as well, and that Kim mentioned that this is not the right backing soundtrack, and it's just a rough edit, and I was absolutely, I was really, as a podcast host, I know how to talk, right? I can talk, but I was lost for words. I was really, I mean, if that's what, and I said it in the meeting to Kim, I said, if this is just a rough and it's just 4 minutes, my God, what's going to happen when that film comes out? Because it was such an emotional piece. And the reason it was so emotional was because it was real. I, as a homeopath, I could relate to that because we have similar encounters with patients and their issues and what they go through and the fears that they go through. And then all of a sudden, it's happiness, and it's tears of happiness rather than tears of sadness or fear. And it was just an incredible clip. So, bravo to all of the team, including, of course, yourself, for something that is really, again, life is going to be life changing. There's such a deep message, and it's not just homeopathy. The message is about us as individuals as well, and what we can do to better ourselves, and actually about hope. Never give up hope. There is always something there that's available to help you, and in this instance, of course, it's homeopathy. And yeah, I just thought I'd just share that.
No, that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I love that you brought up that concept of hope, because it was something that I was going to touch on as well. I think that is really what this film is going to give people, is that sense of, in that 4-minute clip. And I know we're teasing everybody in the audience with this clip that we've seen that you haven't gotten to see yet.
Oh,
But
yeah.
knowing that there is this incredible progression that we show through the film of going from spaces of wounding and having that burden and struggling and being sick and all of these things that, again, everybody can relate to. But it's not just, we don't focus on that. We focus on the process and the hope and the inspiration and the ability that we all have to move beyond that and to step beyond that. And I think that's, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing here, is we're giving hope to people all around the globe. And that's an incredibly amazing thing to be a part of.
For those just tuning in, if you do have any questions, please put them in the comment box, and Isabel Wells, the communications director, if you've just joined, would be more than happy to answer them live on air. But also, you can always get in touch again. Isabel, if you could just give that email again. If you have any questions, please send them directly to the team.
Absolutely. So if you want to get in touch, if you want to learn more about the film, if you have questions for me that we don't get to here live, as I know we're wrapping up soon, you can send them to Isabel@introducinghomeopathy.com. That's ISABEL@introducinghomeopathy.com. You can also go to introducinghomeopathy.com itself, our website, to learn more about the exclusive private screening, learn about how you can get virtual tickets to watch the film be screened, learn about how you can join our newsletter to stay up to date on all things Introducing Homeopathy, and so much more. So be sure to check out that link as well.
Any parting thoughts, Isabel, that you would like the listeners who will listen back, of course, as well, to reflect upon, or anything exciting? Or
Well, I think, again, just saying thank you to you, Atik, for having me on, for being willing to share my voice here as well, and thinking that it's a worthy contribution. I'm very honored for that. But also, just for everyone listening, really stepping into that knowledge that healing is possible, and we have this amazing modality, and it's as a community, right, as that collective, that we're going to be able to give homeopathy its rightful voice. And so whatever you can do, even if it's, liking our post or sharing Atik's podcast or going on the website and purchasing a ticket, whatever it is that you can do, let's do it, and let's do it together, because like Atik said, there's not a single one of us who can make this film happen. It's all in that community and that sense of connection. And how amazing is it that we live in a time where the internet exists and Instagram exists and websites exist where we can make this collective effort. So let's make the most of it. We have 2 months left. Let's do all we can, because this film deserves it, and homeopathy deserves it, and the people that homeopathy can impact also deserve that well-being and that chance to be seen and that hope and all of the things that we've talked about today. So thank you for letting us share that message.
Oh, it's my honor to be able to do that. And I would say, please subscribe to the Introducing Homeopathy Instagram account. It's very, very important, because the message spreads far and wide. Visit the website as well. And again, if you want to join the Influencer Network, please just email and get in touch with the team. It's really, really important. And together, let's raise the flag of homeopathy this year. Let's raise it very, very high so that everybody can see it. Isabel Wells, it's been an absolute honor to have you on. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so very much. And of course, talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Atik. It has been a joy, and thank you to everyone watching live or watching the recording. This has been amazing, and I can't wait to see where this film takes us.
Thank you so very much. I'll speak to you very soon.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.